I just got on now.
Yeah.
It just takes a minute.
I've just used my hotspot. All right, after a little technical glitch here, let's get tonight's meeting underway. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the meeting of the Planning Advisory Committee for August 19th. I'll start the meeting by giving a brief overview of what the Planning Advisory Committee's mandate is, as well as a breakdown of how the meeting will progress. The Planning Advisory Committee consists of 9 citizens of St. John who have been appointed by the city's nominating committee. Our role is to provide advice to Common Council on applications to amend the municipal development plan, zoning bylaws or Section 59 conditions, subdivision proposals, along with a number of other possible issues. Our views and opinions are independent. Tonight's meeting will progress as following. Shortly, the committee will vote to adopt the agenda for this evening's meeting. Following the adoption of the agenda, we'll do a roll call for the members of the committee. We'll then approve the minutes from previous PAC meetings and declare any conflict of interest for this evening's items. We'll then go through this evening's applications and follow that agenda until it is complete. For each item, city staff will provide an overview presentation. Following this, the applicant will be asked to address the committee. Once the applicant has finished their presentation, the committee may ask follow-up questions. We will then open the public hearing where any members of the public are welcome to address the committee. Each speaker has 10 minutes. We ask you to please avoid repetition of concerns or viewpoints. If you have a large group, we encourage the delegation of a single representative speaker. Once it's your turn to speak, you'll be called to the podium. The committee may have questions for you following your address. Please note the committee has read any letters or comments submitted for this meeting. The committee may ask the applicant to return to respond to any comments that arise during the public hearing. After this, the public hearing section is closed. No further comments may be made by the public or the applicant. At this point, there may be only questions of clarification to city staff by the committee. Please remember that this is a safe space and that we ask for everyone to conduct themselves in a respectful manner. Should anyone interrupting the proceedings will receive one warning to refrain from disrupting the meeting. Should disruptions continue, they will be asked to leave the meeting. Members of the public, you are welcome to remain in the chambers to listen to the debate and decision of the committee. However, when your item is concluded, you may leave. Should you have any follow-up questions, please contact city staff. So I will begin this evening by vote on the agenda. Can I get a motion? Moving seconder question. All those in favor? Pass. Thank you. Roll call. I'm the chair, Brad Mitchell. First vice chair, Phil Como. Second vice chair, Ann McShane. Councillor Gary Sullivan. Councillor Jerry Lowe. Peter Pappas. Shema Elderby. Terry Hutchison and Josephine Chekwas are unable to make this evening's meeting. Ask whether there's any conflicts of interest on any of the items tonight. Very good, thank you. We have 3 minutes from June the 17th, 2025, May 16th, 2023, and June 20th, 2023. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes? We'll get all 3. Second. Any question? All those in favor? Thank you. So our first applicant is the City of St. John. The landowner is the Exhibition Association. The location is 125 McAllister Drive, PID 552-37069. Plan designation is Regional Retail Center. The zoning is Regional Commercial and Park. The application type is subdivision. Community Planning Act authorizes the Planning Advisory Committee to advise Common Council concerning the vesting of public streets. The subdivision bylaw authorizes the Planning Advisory Committee to approve other accesses suitable for the passage of motor vehicles as being advisable for the development of land. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So I said before you is an application for subdivision at 125 McAllister Drive. This application includes the subdivision of a new lot to develop Phase 2 of the field house. PAC authorization is needed as the proposed lot does not front a public street. We are also proposing to vary the required LPP to nil, as the recreation center would meet the intent of lands for public purpose. The second part of the application includes vesting of a small portion of the PID as an extension of Majors Brook Drive, which would require council assent, as well as their assent for an easement. The subject site is located on the east side of St. John in the McAllister Regional Retail Center. It sits on the edge of the retail center and is adjacent to the residential neighborhood of Forest Hills. The site itself contains the exhibition grounds as well as the completed Phase 1 of the field house. And the field house currently sits on a lot that undertook this exact same process in 2017 for a lot not fronting a public street. As part of that previous process, shared parking and access was contemplated for both that first phase as well as the second phase that's before you. In the photo above, you can see the proposed location of that new lot, which is directly beside the existing field house in that little bit of a gravel, kind of grassy area. And then here in the image, you can see the section of PID to be vested as public street. So we're looking north, and it starts at the edge of the intersection, stretching to the rear of the McDonald's. And then the second image is just reversed, looking south down that extension. This is the main access to the field house site, as well as the new proposed lot, and is also used by the exhibition ground. The site itself is inside the designation of Regional Retail Center, which mainly contains large format retail and service concentrations in the east and the west of the city. Recreation facilities are a benign land use that would complement the Regional Retail Center while also supporting that adjacent residential. The site itself actually has two zonings, the majority being park, which the new lot would fall under, and the park zone does support recreational facilities. The second zoning is regional retail commercial street, and it's just that tiny portion of the PID that would be vested as public street. Neighborhood letters were sent to all residents within 100 meters of the subject site. We did receive 0 letters, and as there is no public hearing before council, there was no website ad posted. So we are recommending that the Planning Advisory Committee, subject to Section 15(2) of the subdivision bylaw, approve a lot that does not abut a public street with the access via a common right-of-way. And we ask that PAC grant a variance to reduce the LPP requirement to nil. And we also recommend that Common Council assent to the attached subdivision plan with that respect to the portion being vested as public street and the easement. Thank you.
Thank you. And do we have the applicant? You are the applicant. Please come forward, state your name, and if you're in agreement with staff recommendation.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, committee members. My name is Curtis Langell. I'm manager of real estate for the city of St. John. I've read over the staff report and we are in favor of the recommendation.
Do you have any question for the applicant? Thank you. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak for or against this application? Second, is there anybody from the public that would like to speak for or against this application? Final call. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak for or against this application? Since there is no further calls, that is conclusion of the public hearing. I'd ask if the committee have any questions for staff or if any motion or.
Move staff.
And I got a seconder from Phil. Question? All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you very much. That concludes item 5.1. Item 5.2. The subdivision application. Yes, let me open this a little bit more. Applicant is Hughes Surveys and Consultants Limited. Landowner is 110 Westmoreland Holdings Inc. Location is 110 Westmoreland Road, PID 003-19285. Plan designation is stable residential. Zoning is low-rise residential. The application type is subdivision. The subdivision bylaw authorizes the Planning Advisory Committee to approve other access as suitable for the passage of motor vehicles as being advisable for the development of land. Go ahead.
Thank you. So before you is an application to subdivide a parcel of land that does not abut a public street. Again, this requires PAC's authorization to allow for the lot to be
Can you
accessed
just
by a
hold on a
private.
second? We're having a technical issue with the screen.
Ah.
Okay.
Maybe give it 1 minute. They said no signal.
We do have two people that are online, I believe. So it is important.
Okay. Unplug and plug it back in.
Thank you
That's
for
the
your
solution.
patience. Technology's wonderful.
Let me just get this started again. Oh, now the screen has froze on my end now. Here we go. So as said, this application requires PAC approval for the authorization of a lot to be accessed via private street, which would be called Leah Loop, and it would serve the rear lot with the existing building as well as the new lot that would front Westmoreland Road, sorry. The lot itself is currently 9,876 square meters, and the lot in the rear would be 5,759 square meters, and that front one would be 4,176. The minimum size of a new lot in the RL zone only needs to be 225 square meters for a 2-unit and 800 square meters for a multi-unit project. So this would exceed those requirements. The subject site is on the city's east side on Westmoreland Road, which is classified as an arterial street in the municipal plan, and the lot currently contains a multi-unit building. Here's a more detailed aerial view of the current property. As said, the lot currently contains a multi-unit building with multiple apartments, and this would remain on the rear site and be accessed via that private street, and the new lot fronting Westmoreland would be created. In the above images, you can see the site with that existing multi-unit. This is kind of looking north at Westmoreland. You can see the private access would be aligned with the current driveway. And then the other two images are just looking kind of north and then southwest, showing where that new lot would be. The municipal plan has designated this site as stable residential. This designation includes areas within the primary development area that have the potential to accommodate additional development, generally at a scale and density consistent with the surrounding wider neighborhood. And the subdivision of the larger lot would conform better to the surrounding lot sizes. The site is zoned low-rise residential, which allows for 3-story ground-orientated development, which would match the community character of the area. Any development of the site would be subject to that zoning, including heights, setbacks, landscaping, parking. And the subdivision bylaw generally requires all new lots to front a public street for access. As said, to subdivide a lot not fronting public street, we are here before PAC for your authorization. Private streets are not uncommon for cohesive developments, and a claywork lane just across the street serving a low-rise development is also a private street. The owner of the lots would be responsible for all maintenance of this private street, including plowing, road maintenance, garbage collection, addressing, etc. A neighborhood letter was mailed to all residents within 100 meters on August 5th. The applicant also sent out their own informational letter to all surrounding neighbors. We have received 5 letters from the public. You have seen all of them. 4 of them were in opposition and 1 was in support. As this is a PAC application and no public hearing before council is required, no website ad was posted. So staff are recommending that the Planning Advisory Committee, subject to section 15.2 of the subdivision bylaw, approve a lot that does not abut a public street and would be accessed via a private street. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee members have any question for staff at this time? Thank you. At this time, I'll ask the applicant to come forward, and if you could state your name, please.
Yes, Chairman, committee members, Rick Turner, here on behalf of 110 Westmoreland Holdings Incorporated. As far as the staff recommendations, we're totally support of those. I see they do have something that seems to be new is the road association, I'll call it, which that's good to have out front because sometimes the parameters around who's supposed to be responsible for what aren't really clear. So the street name here is to complement the historic value of the building, what they call the red house on the property, something that is intended to stay. It's not to be redeveloped other than the upgrades that have been done to it. The road system that we've put in here, it creates a bit of a loop, a little better than what's there now, and that will accommodate emergency vehicles. We've gone through templates and stuff to make sure the fire department can make the maneuvers on the site that would be required. As far as community engagement, what I get that on screen there. And probably page 2. Yeah, the first page is a bit of a narrative about the development, then the site plan, and then the last page is renderings of the building, which we did want to show that to the community. It's well through the design stage, so it's approval of the committee, and then it could be moving to construction probably late this year to construct it. So next year, probably the build is about 1.5 to 2 years, which is a question that one of the writers of the letter had. As far as the community engagement, I spoke with 5 people. 2 just curious, wanted more information, never identified themselves or where they lived. 2 of them directly across from this. One man said it's good to see it developed, and there was a woman who said it looked quite attractive. So that was positive. And one of the people I communicated with by both email went and met with them at their property. There's a representative here for them, so I'll let them speak for themselves. Again, in agreement with staff recommendations. Any questions? I'll try to address them.
Yeah, you have a question?
Rick, I was just out of curiosity, because the first time I've seen the renderings, I don't think it's in the kit. They look nice. Are they all have to be ground oriented, I think, by the RL zone. So does that mean they're just 3-story houses? Is that what they are?
Yeah, 3-story stacked townhouses. Everybody has their own
Entrance
entrance,
at the
their
front.
own amenity space via balconies.
Nice. I think that's
and plus
probably, yeah.
community common space on the site. Stormwater attenuation is required, so next to the entrance, that would be developed into a stormwater holding pond.
Yep.
And as far as that, what they'll do is dress that up with some benches, make it a passive sort of.
And you're just at early stages here, so this will have all the rigor of things like traffic studies for any units added and everything else that is typical in rent, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
they've actually advanced quite a bit on the design and
Yeah.
stuff, geotechnical work, architectural work, all that stuff is in place now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions at this time for the applicant? Thank you.
Okay.
At this time, I'll open for public presentation. Is there anybody that would like to speak for or against this application? If so, please come forward and state your name. Please come forward.
I'm Lisa Irvin. I own the property bordering this on Barbara Crescent. And I do have questions. I was trying to catch the diagrams to see where the buildings are going to be on the lot. And it just went quicker than I could kind of get orientated. So I'm wondering if you could show me again where those buildings are going to be and how. Like, are they over on the Westmoreland Road side, or where are they on this?
Let me see if I can zoom in here for you. So this would be the new building lot, and this is Westmoreland here.
Right, and where
So
are the
this
new
would be
buildings
existing
gonna
house
be?
right along here.
They're gonna be on the Westmoreland Road. Okay, will there be anything behind the red building? No, so just along Westmoreland Road, okay. That was my question. And this road that they've built borders the back of my property, so that's another question around. When it comes to developing this, how is it done so that the water's not directed in my yard?
We'll ask the city staff that.
Because the slope
Water
is going
runoff.
my way.
Okay,
And that would be my, thank you.
thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak for or against this application? My second time. Is there anybody that would like to speak for or against this application? Is there anybody online? I believe the applicant is online. But is there anybody else online that would like to speak? Third and final call. Anybody that would like to speak for or against this application? Okay, at this point, do we need to call the applicant back? Question, have you got a question? Okay, so I'll close, public hearing and, we'll open the questions to staff.
Really just to direct the question with regards to drainage onto that lady's property.
So through the chair to Councillor Sullivan, the drainage will be managed at the stage where we're ready to receive a building permit application. At this time, the proponent has provided a plan to collect rainwater runoff from the northeast or northwestern side of the property and direct it to a detention pond where it will be directed into the city's storm sewer. So that all site runoff will be controlled and discharged from the site in a controlled manner.
Okay,
this is
so
not
for the folks who don't sit here like we do every month, this will fall under the city's water management plan that requires it to not increase any water in the neighborhood and to have it controlled and to make sure that whatever is flowing now does not increase on neighbors. Like
That
it
is
falls
correct.
under all of that.
Yes, so with any application, and any development within the city that is larger than a duplex or a semi-detached dwelling is subject to a stormwater management plan. And so the proponent must demonstrate through their engineer that the project will not have any kind of negative impact. And they will include controls that will attenuate the water that runs off the site so that once development is completed, it is no greater than at any point in time before development
Okay,
occurs.
so they have to have a professional engineer submit the study to us and then we approve it and go, yep, that'll work. And then they have to build according to what they've.
That is correct.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for staff at this time? So, no. I'm sorry, the public hearing is closed. Sorry. At this time, I'd ask committee if they have recommendations or motion, or what would they like to see? I got a motion, Gary and Peter Pappas. Question, all those in favor? Opposed? Sorry, and which were you? Okay, thank you. Seemed to be unanimous. At this point, item 5.2 has passed. That concludes that item. So I'll look for a motion to adjourn. Jerry and Asima. Thank you very much. Yes, and if you have questions,